Hey, YouTube, come here. Come here. Trick or treat! What's up, YouTube? It's your boy John here at the Jersey Shore. I just got done watching 2007's Trick or Treat, and I'm here to tell you about it. Trick or Treat is a 2007 film written and directed by Michael Dougherty. Woo! This movie's sort of a horror anthology, sort of in the same vein as Creepshow. The difference is this movie, everything takes place on Halloween night, and everything seems to be taking place at the same time. And the things that aren't taking place at the exact same time are sort of taking place one right after the other in a chronological order that is not chronological in the film. It jumps around quite a bit, but you'll see that the first little bit of the story relates to the third story, relates to the fifth story, relates back to the first. They jump around from story to story, and there are little minor events that take place between the stories that sort of tie them and link them all together. The movie starts off with a woman who, her and her boyfriend are just returning back from, I don't know if it's her boyfriend, maybe it's her husband. They're returning back from a Halloween party. They're both drunk. He wants to go in the house and fool around, where she wants to stay outside and take all the Halloween decorations down. The next story sort of has to do with a high school principal who is doing devious things to the candy that he's handing out to the children. There's another story that has to do with a school bus massacre, where a school bus goes flying off a cliff into an old rock quarry. Another story has to do with a group of girls who I'm not going to quite tell you what that story is particularly about because that'll spoil too much for you. Lastly, the final story has to do with an angry old man who lives right next door to the principal who's messing with the children's candy. Like I said, all these stories are intertwined and interwoven within each other throughout the movie. I think it was very clever the way that Michael Dougherty wrote this movie and directed this movie, where things that are happening at the beginning of the movie, you figure more things out at the end of the movie, and each little piece and each little nook that you get from the director with all of these stories somehow ties into another story, and you see that all throughout the movie. The one constant that you see throughout this movie is this one little trick-or-treater. His name is Sam, and he's wearing an orange jumpsuit, and he appears to have a head like a lollipop, a round head inside of a potato sack. He doesn't speak, but you see him all the way throughout the movie. Sam actually he has a huge part in one story in particular. This movie was made 12 years ago, and even up until like 2017, I was reading things on the internet that there were rumblings of another movie being made. Honestly, you could make a completely different movie with a completely different set of stories that the only common thread is Sam. He doesn't have to even be involved, but as long as you see that little guy walking around in the movie, it's going to be just a neat little thing to see, to tie everything together. As all you horror fans already know, you only need the slightest Easter egg hidden in the most reclusive spot in a movie, and we're thrilled to death to see that one movie is hooked to another, even if they have absolutely positively nothing to do with each other. That one little nugget it'll put a smile on our faces. And I think if you put up another half a dozen short stories that had nothing to do with the first movie, and all you had was them intertwined and interwoven with each other, and had that little guy walking around throughout somewhere inside of each story, we would be more than happy with the end result. Honestly, I would think that the ideas to continue this franchise would be endless. Like I said, the stories don't need to be related to each other, and if you can continue to come up with short story ideas and somehow cleverly link them together, there's more than enough horror writers out there that could be done, probably including Michael Dougherty. He did a great job with the first one. I don't see any reason why he couldn't do another one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for me. If you have not seen Trick or Treat, I highly recommend it. It is a fantastic movie. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really liked the video, please subscribe to my channel. I would love for you to go on this journey with me. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a kick-ass day. Happy Halloween. And thank you for watching.